What's going on, guys? It is the day of Christmas Eve, and I just wanted to make a quick video because something came in the mail that I was not expecting for like another month. This is coming from China. It is a just regular run-of-the-mill. Apparently there's a whole thing about carrier provisioning on these rocket sticks. So other than getting an actual carrier one, which is pretty expensive, I'm on Rogers. But so basically this one is from China. It will supposedly work with any SIM card. It gets pretty good reviews. It was about 15-20 bucks. I'll actually link to it if you guys want to do this. But the idea, I don't have the other component that came in the mail as well. It's a GROM audio aux 1. I'm going to cut to a little video of that right now. It's in the house right now. I'm about to warm up the car. Let's actually do that while I'm ranting. It is cold, so. Oh yeah, she's a little grumpy. That was a rough one. As you can tell, it's quite cold here. This is a cheapo little solution to my fog issue. After cleaning the windows, they just kept getting a little bit of fog, and it kind of bugged me. So this actually helps. I can run this without running the heat. So no fumes in the car, and a little quick solution. This is not permanent. I just put a little piece of Velcro on here, so when it gets warmer, that's coming back out. But back to the main topic at hand, which is the audio upgrade. So I am going to use this rocket stick because I have an extra SIM card. I really kind of go to town on negotiating a better deal, and one of the perks, even though I didn't want it, was a free tablet, and this tablet came with data. So it's a data only SIM card. We have more data than I'll ever be able to use, 4 times over. So we are going to give the car Wi-Fi. So this is going to be key on ignition. So basically the same thing. Sorry, I'm just using the gimbal here. This is kind of hard to do. Same idea as the wideband gauge. So I'm just gonna tap power from our fuse box over there, and the GROM audio, I'm gonna cut to it now. Actually, I'll cut to the video and explain what this is. So basically the CD changer in here, I'm gonna get underneath and get back there. I actually don't know how involved that is, but I imagine it's not too difficult. But we're gonna get to the back of this sucker, and there is a plug that comes with the GROM, and basically what this is gonna do is it's gonna emulate the CD changer. And at first I was actually worried because it says, satellite only, but apparently it can do both. So if you have satellite, you sacrifice the satellite and it will emulate the satellite player. If you have no satellite like me, then it will emulate the CD player. So I'm going to take out all the CDs. I've got a couple old school CDs that I put in when I first got the car. CDs sound amazing on this car. I use this thing for audio right now, and honestly it's good. It has USB in. It just provides an FM station. It's okay. It provides music. The car has amazing audio out of the box. It's just that it's old, so unless you got cassettes or CDs, then you're pretty much limited. But what this is going to do is, back to the video of the GROM, is it's going to emulate the CD player. So when I press CD, it's going to think that the CD player is giving it signal, but what it's actually doing is getting signal from the GROM. The GROM then has an input of a 3.5 mil headphone jack, and the 3.5 mil I plan on putting into a Chromecast audio. This was a kind of a one-off product. They don't really seem to make them anymore. It's an older product. But basically it's the same thing as a Chromecast, except instead of HDMI, it's a 3.5 mil. So it's going to go CD player into the GROM into the Chromecast audio, and then the Chromecast audio will have data from here, and then we'll be able to just link to it on your phone, or whoever's in the car can link to it and play music through there. But it's going to clean up the signal a bunch, and it's going to sound awesome. So just warming up the car now. Just cracked the thermostat. Gonna do a little montage of me driving up there, and and then we're gonna buy this ATA circuit. And if it's, you know, it's not raining right now, so I might just do it right now. We'll see how hard it is, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to make a quick video because, like I said, I wasn't expecting this for like until early February, but it got here today, so it's Christmas. Let's get to it. So just at the Canadian Tire, got 2 of these because I just realized I might need to power up the rocket stick separately. I'm not quite sure, but these are always good to have, and they are sold out sometimes. Real cheap. Basically, this goes in one end, right where whatever fuse you're using, and then it's got, I can't really see in this one, but so then, yeah, so that goes into your fuse, and then the fuse closest to it, right? So this one will be the fuse for your device, or sorry, no, this will be the fuse that you're replacing, and then this one up above, closest to the wire, will be the fuse that you use for your device. So I'll figure out what the rocket stick needs. I can't imagine as much, and then I'll do the same for the GROM, and then we'll have keyed ignition power, safe without cutting into anything else. So let's go. Do a quick little video, just talk about some other things that I did recently. I actually took apart and cleaned the electric evac fan. It was really bad. I just noticed that there was a bunch of just grit and muck, and when I opened it up, it was even worse. So that's something I got to keep an eye on. It's probably, what that's most likely from is a small leak in the catch can, and it's getting moisture, especially on shorter trips. And then when it's mixing with the oil, it turns into this like yellow sludge. If you've ever seen a blown head gasket or anything like that, the mix between oil and coolant is just disgusting. It's so nasty. So it was absolutely caked with that. It cleaned out fine though. I cleaned out the lines and cleaned out the pump, and when it fired back up, it was fine. So pretty satisfied with that. Pretty happy about that. What are you doing, man? People love walking on the road around here. It's like their favorite thing to do. Oh, and not signaling. That's another thing that's big on around here. Anyways, so yeah, the evac pump is ripping again. I probably could have replaced some of the gaskets. What I did, I know this is so ghetto, but I just went around the edges with Flex Seal.
Like a handyman in a can.
And honestly, it worked. It's probably better than it was, because I did notice oil was coming out of the top part. It's kind of like a 2-piece plastic lid. So yeah, definitely ghetto, but hey, it's safe now. So not leaking oil. It's creating a lot more vacuum. What's the other thing I was gonna say? Oh, the other part of this is I'm gonna build a little shroud. I'm actually gonna make a little plastic thing that's the shape of it that can just sit in front of it to take any of the weather, because right now it's just getting hammered by the by the weather, so we'll see. I'm gonna run in and grab some food for the girlfriend.
Wendy's old-fashioned hamburgers, they're cooked to order just for you.
All right, so another thing I wanted to say was the unit that I'm replacing, it's called a Victsing, V-I-C-T-S-I-N-G, and it was just recommended on Amazon, but it is actually an amazingly good unit for what it is. I think it's about 23 bucks, 24 bucks, and just try and merge into traffic here. Oh shit. To go around. Anyways, that's okay. I don't mind. The Victsing works really well, and there's some cool stuff that I'll actually kind of miss. Like when you first turn on the car, it displays the battery voltage, and that was something that I actually really depended on, because working on the car, I just kind of quickly switch on the ignition just to briefly pop it up, and I would kind of gauge how much time I have by that, you know, just run the engine for 2-3 minutes, charge up the battery. But yeah, there's a couple other good things, but yeah, the audio quality, I would give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. And it's not because it can't sound good. It does sound good, but you have to be away from other radio. It does pick up interference. It actually sounds really good as far as like comparing it to other ones that I've had. But let's go around these people. But anyways, it's a good unit. I'll probably just give it to someone. This is gonna be so much better. Like, I would always be so shocked when I went from, you know, FM signal, Bluetooth to CD, and it's an old CD and it sounds infinitely better. You know, I'm at 10 out of 30 volume and it's like vibrating the windows, whereas normally I'm at like closer to 20 and it's still kind of quiet, and if you really push it, you'll start to, you know, start to get noise, start to get crackling and stuff like that, but that's okay, that's okay. I've always kind of relied on, you know, really good sounding exhaust, so driving around with the windows up, it's a relatively new experience for me.
Woodward Circle.
That's your car, son?
You know how expensive this car is?
Why don't you just take it around the corner?
Hey, did you see how fast I was going? It must have been like 160 on that off-ramp. I mean, you should drive this car. I mean, it's amazing.
Officer,
it's insane.
I am so sorry.
Insane.
My boyfriend was showing off. He's trying to impress me.
Why don't we just take it around the block, now?
Other than that, the car is driving really well. I'm gonna wait until the end of the new year, probably right around January 1st, and then it will be header time. I don't know why, I'm getting kind of nervous about it. I'm just kind of doing a bit more research, getting under the car. It's gonna be really tight. I have complete faith in the shop that I'm going to. They're really, really good. Like, well beyond, you know, they're fabricating full-on race cars. This is like a walk in the park for them, so. That's also, you know, that's one of the reasons why I'm going to them. I'm not going to my regular exhaust. You know, the exhaust shop that I go to that did the majority of the work on this car, they're great. They're really, really good, and they're really cheap. Unfortunately, they don't really do a lot of fabricating. Once it gets into like the header world, they're kind of asking a buddy and calling a friend of calling a friend, right? So I didn't really want to go down that route. I wanted to, you know, if we run into issues, these guys will be able to handle it no matter what. So the only person who's done this, from what I can tell online, is an M45, a Y34 M45. So big shout out to, can't remember your name, but big shout out to you, man. Appreciate it. Because right now, you know, I was weighing my options earlier, and without the shorty header, you know, I'm going completely custom manifold, or I'm gambling with another set of stock, right? And if the stock ones were prone to failure, what do you think a Dorman replacement is going to be like? Is you think it's going to be any better? No, it's going to be trash. Trash. You're going to be 6 months of guaranteed, and then you're then you're in the Wild West, right? Then you're back to square one of gambling. right? And I don't feel like gambling, especially if we're going to bigger power. If we spray nitrous or we go forced induction, I don't want to be then addressing this problem again, right? So, like everything else with the car, if it's broken, we have to future-proof it or make it better. So, yeah, more things coming soon. I got the mirrors. I don't know if I mentioned the mirrors. I have 01 SEMA mirrors with the auto fold circuit for the door, so that will be implemented either hidden in the dash somewhere or actually visible and have a toggleable switch, but I'm kind of leaning towards hidden in the dash and they just auto fold every time. So there'll be an intricate video on that, me ranting longer. So my plan at this point was to just go home and release a video on Christmas Day, basically what you've watched up until now. So, but my plans changed, and I just wanted to explain that just so it makes sense. The next clip is going to be basically the next 2 days of me installing it. I did run into a few issues, so I just wanted to clear that up just so it made sense.
The next day.
What's going on, guys? So I am just taking apart the glove box. Let me just see if we can. Oh yeah, we can. So I think I just drop out these tabs, and then this will drop down, just kind of like we're doing the air filter. And then I think you just pull down, yeah, right under here. Yeah, I think those just pull down, and then we'll be able to get access to the back of this sucker. But first I'm going to take out these CDs. Yes, when I first got the car, my friend hooked me up. I think I can just go CD. Oh yeah, we got the NOS.
If I ruled the world and everything in it, sky's the limit. I push the Q45 Infiniti.
Wow, this is so cool. You know what, like, as much as I'm looking forward to this upgrade, we got some absolute heat. I mean, this is it's not exactly the worst CDs to have. That's my buddy, local artist. These are all CDs that I tested and they all work, so I threw them in here just to test. But you know, after listening to it a couple times, you get bored. We don't know. I hope this works. Anyways, let's get to it. Unfortunately, it did not work. I took apart the rest of the CD changer and I found the wrong plug, and I panicked because, you know, this is not my field of expertise. None of this really is, but especially car audio. So most of these cars, the ones that are supported at least, right? None of this is GROM's fault. This is completely user error. So all the forums, all of the literature that I'm reading is for like G35s and newer M45s, and all of them have the access port or the plug that I need is on the back of the CD changer. So when I saw the wrong port on the back of my CD changer, I panicked and you know, I went inside, called it quits, kind of had a little moment, you know, wasn't going to be able to film the rest of the video. So anyways, that is what happened, and I will now fast forward to, I think, the following day. What's going on, guys? I am back. I'm using the Pixel right now, so don't mind the kind of different quality video, but I had to make a quick video, just more of a confessional than anything. This will probably be in the video about the GROM, because this is going to be the final chapter. We're actually going to be installing it today. As you can tell, I've got the car mostly ripped apart. So little story time. So I bought the original GROM satellite emulation, which was a mistake. I'll explain why. It wasn't such a big mistake and the rest of this, but so I bought the satellite emulation. I looked under the bottom of this CD changer, and there is a 16-pin obscure connector. It's called the M109 in the FSM. I'll show you a picture of it, but oh, it's right here actually. So this is the connector, As you can tell, it's got a few more pins than the one that comes with the GROM. I panicked, I didn't do my research, and I bought the CD emulation one thinking it would be a different pin, right? Everything online I've read is, hey, you know, unplug the thing from the back of the CD changer and plug in the GROM. So when I saw that was a different connector, I just instantly assumed that it was the wrong plug. And which doesn't make it any better, is there's multiple people on forums in the same boat saying, yeah, this doesn't work, it's the wrong connector. So naturally I thought, you know, I got the wrong one. So anyways, so I bought the CD emulation one thinking that it was a different plug. Obviously when it got here, it's the same one. I didn't understand that the Nissan harness is the same for all of them, that they're interchangeable. You know, all of these are user errors due to not doing enough research. So kind of had a little panic moment, kind of freaked out, right? Because I bought the second one with air priority shipping, right? So I'm like $300 into this. It's the same thing. I'm kind of panicking. But anyways, late last night, I'm doing some research through the factory service manual, and I did see the right plug, but it's behind here. So for the 2002 non-navigation units in the M45 and the Q45, I'm guessing the 03 and 04 for the M, the plug's on the back of here, right? 12 pin that I need is on the back of here, and it comes out to there. And he basically confirmed, there's a person on Nico who confirms basically what I found. And so anyways, here I am today with two GROMs that both probably would have worked. Apparently you can flash the firmware from one to the other. So I really didn't need to buy the second one, but it is going to work out the box with this. Fingers crossed, since I still haven't done it yet. And knowing this car, there's probably something else that I haven't found yet, but I'm going to run through this really quick. So, as you can tell, I got the faceplate off. If you've never done that before, they are just pressure clips. Just pry up from the side here, and they'll pop right out, no problem. I am going to have to work around this. As you can tell, these are beyond stripped, and this whole thing was glued in, because when I did the wideband, I wasn't really thinking about the future, and I just wanted it in there, and super ghetto. But anyways, so what I'm gonna have to do, which isn't too big a deal because this is what you have to do anyways, to get this sucker out, there's a couple, I don't know if you can see them. Yeah, you can. So I already got those two out, right, either side. But actually back here, behind the leather, you can see, is two more. So to get those out, you put this in neutral, and then we're gonna pry up along here, and this whole piece is gonna pop up. We're gonna take this out. Then we're gonna move the seats up, and there's, I don't know if you can see them, yeah, hidden screws. So you just take something flat, something that's not too sharp. I might not use this. I might use, I brought some other stuff. A little pick. I've got everything in the car, so we're gonna get that up, not scratch anything, and then it's just a Phillips or a Japanese screw, whatever you want to call them. And that's on either side. So we'll do that on both sides. And then this whole piece is gonna pop up, and we're gonna unscrew our cup holder. Basically this whole piece pops up and pulls back a little bit. So these things on the side, this kind of like fake leather stuff, is gonna pull up. And you can pull the whole thing up and bring it up here, but realistically, all we really need is to get at these two screws. I was contemplating just pulling it up and just kind of risking it for the biscuit, but the interior is super clean on this car. I really don't want to break anything, so we're gonna do it properly. That's how it says to do it in the factory service manual. So open this thing up, take those two last screws out. So this will slide out, and then we're just gonna unplug the 12 pin. We're gonna plug in the GROM like normal. I was gonna use the ADA circuit for the power. We're not gonna use that. We're gonna use our wire tap, right? Posi tap, what do they call it? Tap the power wire for the back of the radio. That'll keep it cleaner. And then I will use the ADA circuit for our 4G rocket stick. So it's all coming together, boys. So let's get to it. Okay, so I just got the center console shifter trim pulled out, and just a little quick tip. If yours has been well used like mine, it's a little dirty and kind of sealed to this thing, instead of just prying on it like they do in the video I'll link to, the one that I watched, I found that wedging a really thin clip on the side and just running along the side of it, and then once you see, you'll kind of get like a thicker gap when you get closer to the actual clips. There's only 4 of them, one on each corner. Here's a trick. Pop up or take out the main this part of the cup holders, pull this forward just a bit, and then you can actually get your fingers underneath here and just gently pull up around here, and you'll get the first tab up. And that way you're not jamming your thing under here to really pry it up, and you can just kind of go piece by piece. You can also, once that's up, you can get your fingers under here and get those front tabs. So just a little trick if you want to get under here without risking messing this up. Oh, and also you do need to put this into gear. So I just e-brake on, don't forget. Don't roll away while you're doing this, all right? Make sure you're not rolling away. And then pull up here and it should come up, no problem. I don't even have to disconnect this. I just have to screw in the missing screws that I forgot. Anyways, pro tip, don't mess up your fake wood, your leverage. Anyway, so after this, we unscrew these, cup holder comes out, and then I believe these as well. Let's see what this is connected to. Actually, I don't think I have to remove these. I'm not sure. And then I already took these hidden screws out, and then this whole thing pulls back and detaches from this part. So that will let us get at these next screws here. So let's get to it. All right, so we got the cup holders out. That was no problem. When you do the front two, it kind of wants to pull back. So what you do is just close the cup holder and just put your thumb behind it, and as you leverage it with your other hand, it'll pop straight up. So it wants to go like this, you want it to go straight up. Also, I didn't see this in the other video, these have to come out as well. I can see that these connect these side pieces to the rest of this metal frame here. So, all right, just gonna keep whacking away. There's a lot of room in here, man. Like when you really think about how much room is in this car, man, you could put like all the possibilities. It's all starting to come to me, but all right, let's just keep going here. Okay, so we ran into issue number 1. So as you can see, maybe you can't see, as you can see, that screw was absolutely mangled. I gave up on this one. That's when I just cut these off. This is suspended by epoxy. As you can tell, I really did not do a good job. I think I'm gonna have to break this out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to break this out. I can already tell. I'm gonna get a vacuum down there too, holy. Yeah, dang, I really didn't want to do that because it was pretty damn perfect. I don't mind doing that. It's gonna be kind of a pain in the ass, but as you can see, I think these side, yeah, these are attached. Damn, it's all one piece. Okay, well, that's gotta get smashed out now. Oh well. Okay, so I just put my hand back here because it's kind of, let me just show you. There's a bit of a gap here now. So you pull up from there, and then basically I just pulled up with my hand and up and back, and this actually popped the clip out. So now we can get access to there. And these actually did break off because I never even sanded the edges of these. These are just smooth epoxied on there. But the top held, so we're good. It's still, I don't want to do that too hard, but yeah, it's good. We can do this, right? Oh, this is ghetto. All right, let's go. Okay, so it's out. Pretty happy about that, man. That came out no problem. Didn't scratch anything, which is my big, you know, after this disaster, it just drives me nuts hurting the car. So this came out no problem. I mentioned previously about thinking about skipping this step. That would not be possible because these guys stick out pretty good. So kind of got to shimmy it out. It lets you get to about halfway before you get enough room to pull these out. So this is, which one is it? This one. Yeah, that's the money shot right there. So this sucker, no, sorry, this sucker was the one I was looking for. So when I saw that, this is what gave me an aneurysm trying to figure this out. But it's just backwards on our cars, right? For every other Infiniti, this plug is on the back of the changer, right? And then that one would be on this side. So that's what threw me for a loop. I'm gonna go inside. I got all this stuff here. Yeah, and then we're gonna just wire it up as normal. And I think I am gonna tap the power, so let's get it, baby. Let's go. Let's go. I was so happy that I did do this because there is another mod. It's by PAC Audio, I think. And basically it does the same thing except it taps the FM. But the thing is, on these cars, the best signal is actually coming from the CD player, so. Fucking man. Okay, so the video I'm watching, the power wire is yellow, and it's for a G35, I think a 2007. And I'm going through the factory service manual, and on this guy right here, that yellow wire on this top left pin is saying that's AC power. So what I'm gonna do is they actually supply a posi tap. And I'm not super familiar with these, but looking at it, I'm pretty confident. So basically what you do is you take your the open end of the power wire on the harness. Grab it's right there. So we'll take this little piece off, so it's exposed wire, and we'll screw it into here in the back. And then when you feed it through this part, and then you screw it in. And what that does is it sandwiches it against the actual metal connector here. And then on this end, gonna have to probably pause it again. Yep. So on this end, you feed the wire you're gonna tap into through there, and it keeps it nice and straight, or right in the middle rather. And then that sharp piece will pierce it in as you screw in, which gives you a nice solid connection, and it's nice and insulated. And it will be conveniently tucked back there. So I won't have to do the ATA circuit. I will probably still use that for the 4G rocket stick. I might tuck that in. I might also just run a power wire just for now and have it tucked up in the little suitcase thing. But yeah, that will free up a lot of room on the actual fuse box. So gonna wire tap it, and then I think for the ground, I'm gonna find a bolt that's close by and sandwich this in somewhere. Because I was just talking to my dad, who's a audio engineer, and he was saying that the shielding will actually give you a better signal if you're going to ground into the box, or rather onto the casing of the radio. So get some benefits there. This is all new to me, so I'm kind of going from a couple different sources here, but I like it so far. So let's get to it. Okay, so that was super easy. You just literally just stick it in the back, make it nice and snug, and just tighten it up, and it's on there good. You can feel that it's in there nice and snug. So next step, it will be identifying which one. I think it's this top port here. And yep, those are 4 on the side. So it should just go in nice and snug. Should. So in one of the install videos, they say to leave this end unplugged from the factory harness on that side. I am going to plug it in and then leave it unplugged on that side just to kind of test, because I've kind of heard both things and I don't want to open this side up again. So we're going to plug it in. Yeah, factory side that normally plugs into this will go into here, and then our harness is now connected on that side. Is that nice and snug? Yeah, okay. Then our tap power will tap on this one. So it's got 4 and 3. I just go by the top just to kind of identify them quickly. And I'm going to cut back this harness a bit and tap it a little bit farther up the line just so it's not really close. Okay, so I was kind of stressed out that wasn't going to work, but I actually screwed that up. So the factory service manual has multiple wire diagrams. So this was actually not our power. So this was the mistake. 4 on one side, 3 on the other. That is not our power. The power is actually on this side, 3 into 2, and it's on the 3 side, and it's going to be that top corner one, the closest to me, light blue and orange. Okay, I'm going to just specify that really quick here. It is this one. Okay, so this is the 3rd time around. So I was originally looking for accessory power, which means that there's no power going to it unless the key is in ACC, accessory. So I originally thought that this yellow one was the right one on this style connector, right? 4 on one side, 3 on the other. That is not true. That is actually our left hand, one of those speaker inputs. So that was a fail. So I'm going to tape up that small puncture. Then we got to this side. At this point, I've got the multimeter out, right? Because I'm now completely losing my mind. And at first I thought it was this top pin, the orange and blue. And then I read the instructions. And it says that you need 12 volt constant, which means that the battery is on even if the key is out. So, scrapping that whole idea now. And it's actually at the bottom, that light blue one, second from in the inside. Yeah, that's it. That light blue one solid at the bottom. That's 12 volt constant. So I'm going to tap that. And then it's going to work. Okay. So moment of truth. It wasn't playing at first, and then basically it would go to FM, and it wouldn't let me go back into CD player. So I just looked it up, and they say actually disconnect the harness, and it's going to work. It's going to work. I'm going to go off, go into accessory. And, oh, CD's on. CD's on. Oh, yes! Oh, it sounds good. It worked. Yes. Yes. I am so happy. I was so worried, man, that this whole thing, all this crap was for nothing. But it was user error. It was completely user error. So I honestly think I'm gonna ditch the CD player, get the weight out. I'm gonna reconnect this harness and disconnect it from there. And that's it. So yeah, some final notes. Our power is the, I'm gonna put it up on the screen just because this was very confusing. I actually do suggest everyone who does this, use a multimeter. It's gonna save you time, right? Instead of puncturing holes in wires we don't want, it's better just to be safe. But I will post the wires, the colors of the wires that I used. I'll be having that displayed over the screen right now. Other than that, that was pretty straightforward. I mean, it's 12 volt constant, not accessory, right? Reading the instructions probably helped most people, but that's not how we do it around here. So I'm gonna sign this off. I'm gonna do some more tests. I'm gonna get this whacked back in the car, and then that's it, man. The next piece will be wiring up the sorry, I'm just really excited right now. So the next part will be getting a harness made for the ADA circuit, so that I can power up the 4G rocket stick and the Chromecast audio. And really anything that plugs into there is gonna work perfect. So I am super happy about that. I think that's a wrap, boys. I'm going to put this thing all back together and call it a day. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm sure this is gonna help out a bunch of O2Q and a bunch of Y34 guys, so pretty happy about that. But anyways, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. Peace.